These are Stranger Things about Shane Eagles' album, or let me just say things that I didn't like or that didn't make sense. That's the right word. Things that didn't make sense when I was listening to the album. Yes, I've already given it a review and I gave it a 10 out of 10. Mind you, this takes nothing away from that. I just didn't want to mix the things that I liked about the album and the things that I didn't like about the album, right? Because you guys, I know you were going to conclude it as me hating on it. No, no, no. It is a 10 out of 10 album. And even what I'm going to say next still takes nothing away from it being a 10 out of 10. But these are just things that I thought I'll share that didn't make sense to me, of course, as I was dissecting and digesting the album as it is, right? First of all, of course, like the opening. Okay, the opening of it, it's you can hear the sound of a PlayStation. When you have a PlayStation, you'll know that sound. When you open a PlayStation, that's the sound that you get. So that's the start. That's the first sound that you hear on the intro of the thingy of the album, which you will say, okay, he's playing a game, right? This is a game. It is a game because we call the field of hip hop a game after all, right? So okay, he threw that in there, of course, and also he is a lover of games, Naik, mostly classic games. Maybe even the mentioning of Aries and Nessie, he was playing his game, right? Fine. And then it continues now. There's a skit that talks or that speaks on the gold, right? And let me just say, it's a skit that speaks on the early stages of building Johannesburg to what it is right now, right? They speak about gold, they speak about the mines. You think to yourself, okay, how does this make sense? How does this connect to the whole album? You're still listening to it, right? And then okay, you give it a listen, you go ahead, track after track after track after track after track after track. There's another skit that he also throws in there. Then he speaks about the gold. He speaks about the chain, right? Which he doesn't wear chains, and he also criticizes people who go to Icebox, right? You know, the famous store in America, Icebox, where all rappers go to get that jewelry. Even Blakey was there at Icebox to get himself some jewelry. So he criticized rappers who doing that or artists who doing that because he's asking Oguti, do you know what our ancestors did to mine that gold or what it took to mine that gold, of which is fair. But still, now, how does that fit the whole narrative of the whole album? Because that's the opening skit. Yes, you could include it in your rest, but how does it now make sense? Also, now, as I'm saying, how does it make sense? How does it now also fit to the name of the album? Never meet your heroes. You look at the writing of the album, sorry, of the title of the album, that is. Those are symbols, right? That you can't even, like, that it will take time for you to make sense. It's similar, the symbols are similar to the symbols on the South African coat of arms. I don't know if you guys know the coat of arms. The symbols that are depicted in the cover art of Shane Eagles' album are similar to that. You can see the Khoisan people right there, or on the thingy, on the writing of the name of the title of the album. You can tell that those are Khoisan writings, those are Khoisan symbols. Even the word on the title, meat, right? He played around with including a cow. You can tell that there's a symbol of a cow within the word meat. Played around with the word meat and also meat, the one you eat. So, like, okay, fair, that was smart, that was dope. But now, how does it fit? Like, how does the word never meet your heroes depict to the whole message? For me, I didn't get I tried to scan through the whole album up until the last one. Go to key. What did it mean? Never meet your heroes, or is it just a title J that just floats around, which is also an advice to never meet your heroes, right? So if you guys made sense of that, you can comment down in the comment section below and let me know if you guys that thing makes sense to you. They'll never meet your heroes part, because the message of what's in the album, it doesn't make sense, right? um yeah, man. And also, okay, yeah, you touch on a lot of things, and I also saw that people saying the writing is mid. It's not mid, it's him telling a story. If you can even go back to his classic album Yellow, it is similar. There's not a lot of bars that you can now sit down and dissect, that you need a thing, a dictionary to dissect and understand. No, that's how he is. That's how he writes it best, right? So for me, I feel like that's Shane Eagle. That's his best. He's a storyteller, and he knows how to bring you to his story and also let out his emotion, and for you to be able to relate to it, right? There's so many layers into his life that he brought us in, right? I did touch on that when I did the review of the album, but what did not make sense